Hello everyone, I'm Goral Gandhi. I'm a consultant clinical embryologist and I'm in this field of infertility and IVF since last 25 years. And today we will be discussing various aspects about IVF. We'll discuss some myths surrounding IVF, what IVF is all about. So, the biggest myth surrounding infertility is that for any kind of infertility, to treat any kind of infertility, IVF is required. No, this is not correct. Your doctor is going to evaluate you, do a series of investigations, and in fact, there are majority of cases IVF is not needed. For example, there are many couples, all they need is a little bit of follicular tracking. We monitor their cycle and we tell them the correct time to have intercourse. And that's it. This is what we call timed intercourse. We give them little bit of fertility injections or fertility tablets to increase probably number of eggs in their ovaries and then ask them to have, intercourse at the right time. In some cases, we may do artificial insemination where we are going to wash your partner's sperms or donor sperms and prepare this washed sperms where we are going to separate out all the good sperms from the bad sperms and put it directly into your uterus, which is called intrauterine insemination. Where again, it is not IVF. The eggs are not taken out from your ovaries. The fertilization, everything is happening inside your body. So it is a much less invasive process. So these are all called basic infertility treatment. It is only when this doesn't work, if you're under the age of 35, you can go ahead with all these treatments for a few months. And if it doesn't work, then we may think of proceeding to IVF. So another myth surrounding IVF is that IVF or any kind of fertility treatments causes cancer. Now, there is absolutely no evidence in literature that supports this myth. During when you take fertility injections, fertility hormones, the level of progesterone and estrogen in your body is irregular. It is not normal. And this myth is propagated because of this. Today, millions of babies are being born through IVF. We have been doing IVF since last 40 years and there is absolutely no evidence in literature that suggests that IVF drugs cause cancer. So again, this is a myth, it is not fact. Another myth surrounding IVF, that IVF is meant only for infertile couples. No, not today anymore. As we already discussed, now we have techniques of pre-implantation genetic diagnosis where we can diagnose the embryo, where the embryologist takes biopsy of the cells of the embryos and test for diseases and identify a disease-free normal embryo. So this is a reason. Nowadays, I have many women, if they are above the age of 40, they'll come and say that no, even if I conceive naturally, I don't want to because I want to test my embryo for aneuploidies, for Down syndrome. So again, they undergo IVF and we do pre-implantation genetic testing for aneuploidies to see that there are no chromosomal abnormalities. This is one of the reasons to do IVF. So even though you are not infertile, you may opt to do IVF. Another myth, people feel that it's okay, even if we are delaying childbirth, we can do IVF at any age. Maybe after 3-4 years, I'll just go and do IVF and I'll have a baby. No, as we have discussed, the success depends a lot on the woman's age. Younger you are, easier it is to make you pregnant even with IVF. IVF can overcome many factors, but it cannot overcome a woman's age. It is not easy to make you pregnant at 45 with your own eggs. No major side effects, but things to watch out for that people, symptoms that women may have. During the stimulation phase, when the woman is taking the hormonal injections, there are again the symptoms vary. Not all women experience them, and women experience them in varying degrees, but they may have symptoms like headache, little bit of bloating, nausea, and breast tenderness. These are the symptoms they may have because of the increased hormones. Then, because of the procedure, you may have just a little bit of soreness. You may have bruises because of injections, the daily injections that you are taking. Important side effect, important symptoms to watch out for is, shortness of breath, rapid weight gain, increase in your abdominal girth. Remember, we are giving you hormonal injections, and the term for it is called ovarian hyperstimulation. This is what we are stimulating your ovary. So these are the symptoms to watch out for. Even if there are no embryos frozen, some people have to undergo IVF 2 or 3 times for success. And say you have come to me at the age of 32 and you undergo IVF and you have a baby, and after 4 years, if there are no more embryos left and you come back again, you have to again undergo the process of IVF. So there's a restriction in the number of IVFs that you do, and people do it multiple times. And finally, last but not the least, a very, very prevalent and popular myth surrounding IVF is that IVF and infertility is that it is always the woman to blame. When a woman is not getting pregnant, they are not having a child, they always blame the woman. The in-laws start blaming the woman. The woman herself starts blaming herself because of the society, because of people around her who are keeping on probably, stressing her out. But this is the biggest myth ever. And men are equally responsible. The men have to have adequate number of sperm, the good motility of the sperm, good morphology of the sperms. And believe me, the incidence of female factor infertility and male factor infertility is same. It is equal. Nobody is to blame. We must remember that infertility is a couple's, not a problem, it's a couple's disease or a couple's issue, and the couple needs to be treated, not the men or the women. So this is, this myth is probably propagated by our patriarchal society. It is very important to understand that men are also responsible for infertility. Of course, for men also it is difficult. I'm not saying men who are suffering from this, it's easy for them. But it is important to understand that problems can be with anybody, not just a woman.